I'm Bob Clearmountain. I'm here to show you some of the things that you can do with some of Apogee's amazing plugins. I'm starting with a Bryan Adams session that I didn't record, but it's a recut that he did of Cuts Like a Knife. And here's an incredible Keith Scott guitar solo. And this is what it sounds like without any processing at all, just flat. I think it's a Strat through an AC30. A great solo. Sounds kind of boring. Just the sound of it. The playing is fantastic, I think. Keith is just an amazing guitar player. But anyway, so let's add some things. So first we're going to start with the Apogee ECS channel strip. I've preset a few things here, added a little bit of bottom, added some top end, a peak at around 3.3K, and then a shelf at around 6K. And then I've added some of this drive, which is really what makes it sound cool. And then I had to turn down the output level because that kind of increases the gain. Then I did some compression at 5:1, not a lot, just fairly subtle. And that's what this sounds like. All right, so it's quite a bit brighter, quite a bit more exciting sounding, but it's got this kind of top end irritating, it's like distortion, annoying distortion. You know, it's adding some distortion, but then it's adding something on the top, and that's a little annoying. And so what I'm going to do is add this soft limit, which is actually it's a legacy design, something that was on the very first Apogee converters. In fact, soft limit exists on all Apogee A to D converters, all their hardware, including the Mark II Symphony and the Mark I Symphony, everything. Okay, so what this does is it's subtle, but it rounds off that really harsh, that clipping sound on the top end. This is what adds to that. This makes it a little bit warmer. See, it's not as irritating. You still get that drive and the distortion and the excitement, but it's a little more pleasant to listen to. So now I thought, okay, what if we really take it a step further and add some effects to it? Something fun. All right, so now here is Clearmountain's Phases. Now this is a fairly new plugin that was my idea, actually. It's based on the MXR flanger phaser modules that I used back in the old days, in the 70s and 80s. And this particular thing, what we've done is it doesn't just do what the old unit did, but it actually adds zero crossing tape flanging, which is a big deal to do if you're trying to do it on analog tape, and it's quite a process. But here, all it is this button here. You turn that on, and then add a little more delay here. Take the bypass off, of course, and then what I've done is I've split it's a stereo device, it's mono to stereo. So I split the two oscillators so that the left and right oscillators are sweeping just in the opposite sweeps, and so that gives it this kind of stereo swirly effect. And this is what this sounds like. So it's nice, but I think it gives you this like more of a stereo effect. It's got that great old-fashioned type flanging sound from, you know, the Itchy-Goo Park days, but it's really dry. And so now what if we take it a step further and add some of Clearmountain's domain, which is something that I came up with that kind of mimics my my analog setup. and there's a whole bunch of delays in here. There's a lot of things. There's de-essing for if you're using it on vocals. There's different delay times. This is kind of a typical thing, but you can do all kinds of tricks with altering like if you have two of the same delay, you can change the delay times proportionally on either side just by moving one of these faders. The spin, the delay works in sync, kind of like that. I have a quarter note and a dotted eighth note. So it's a quarter note on the left side, dotted eighth on the right. And then that's also going into some reverbs. Here's this live, this is like a large live chamber. It's going into the mix. This chamber's directly, not through the delay. The delay is feeding into the big chamber, and then I'm getting a bit of both in the Apogee Studio ambience here. And then what I've done is I've turned down, because it's on a track, normally this would be up here and fully wet, but because it's on a track, you want mostly the dry sound coming through, and so I've turned down the effects blend because I'm not using it off an aux send. Normally I would use it off an aux send. So this is what this sounds like. Nice, you know? I mean, it's a nice kind of an old-fashioned 80s guitar solo. And now what's interesting is after hearing all that, and this is kind of fun, I'm turning everything off. Now this is what we started with. So that gives you a little idea of what you can do with just a few plugins. I mean, there's plenty of other ones. The Mod Comp, the Mod EQ, there's Pultec EQP, there's an EQH, or EQM, sorry, MEQ, sorry. That's mid-range EQ. And a few other things in there, the Opto compressor, which is fantastic on vocals. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this little amateur video that I did myself.